It's Todd Smith again, bringing you the next webcast, and we're going to talk today because you guys were actually asking me if I ever have seen this film. It doesn't really fit with the lost footage film, but it does reference on some of the ones that I'm going to be talking about. And that is about films that push the bar. Um, like, like this film, it's been rumored around for the last, like, I bet a year or two, and I keep hearing about it all the time, about this horrible movie. And you guys already know probably by now of what movie I'm talking about, and that's the Serbian film. So I finally was able to get a copy of this film and watch it. And for the first three quarters, no, probably about 2/3 of the film, I didn't think the film was actually that bad. There wasn't really anything too risque that was happening, like other than, okay, the fat doctor having sex with an infant. So that was a little bit too much. But from at that point, it was still pretty good. But then it started getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And I can see why a lot of people really didn't like this film, because it was about a porn star who was given bull Viagra, and he starts having sex with anything, and then in the end of it, he ends up having sex with his own wife and his own son without even realizing it until the very end. But the whole point of this part of this series right now isn't about that film. It's actually about the fact that these are about films that push the bar. And one actually that stands out is this film called The Last Horror Film. And it is from England, well, from the UK, and it is about when you first watch the film, you actually think you're watching this really cheesy freaking movie, because it opens up with this diner, and the girl is like asking questions, like, and then it gets locked up because the guy leaves, and then all of a sudden you just hear things, and then a murderer comes and starts like killing the girl. But just seeing the whole thing, it's like one of those Days of Our Lives fantasy kind of thing, because it's all like hazy and elegant kind of looking. Like, I can't remember the kind of like name to say, but it's got that like dreamy kind of like landscape. How it makes it not surreal, and then all of a sudden this dude just suddenly records over the video, and he's like, this film that you're about to see is better than the one that you thought you rented tonight. And it's about the journey of this dude who becomes a serial killer, and he just has this guy walk around with him videotaping it and helping him kill people. And it first started out where he was killing like 2, 3, 4 people a week. And then now he's down to doing like 8 a year, and so on and so forth. And it just shows the different ways that he kills people. And when I was watching this film, I actually thought, like, when I first saw it was online, and I had to go to work, so I had to pause the movie, and then I went to work, and I came home to continue watching it, because I had to see whether or not this was actually a real movie, or if it was an actual like snuff film or something like that, because it just seemed so realistic that I thought it was actually real. And then when I got home, something happened and my computer errored, and so I rebooted it and reloaded the site, and all of a sudden it was gone. So I thought that maybe it actually was one of those films that you're not supposed to see, and somehow it got leaked. And then all of a sudden my friend gives me a copy of this film that I got to see, and then lo and behold, it's that film. And then I finally got to see the ending, and it's just like, it was a good film. But it's definitely one of those ones that does push the bar, because it does make you feel like you're actually watching this dude. It seemed very realistic. And that's going to lead into the next one, which is actually, if anyone knows about what happened in Canada in 2012 with this porn star who killed an Asian guy and then dismembered him, this Luca Magnotta, I actually got a copy of that film. And when I was watching it, I thought it was fake. Because when you're actually like watching the film, when he's cutting into the body with just like a regular steak knife and stuff like that, it looked like it was too easy and too like fake. Like he was just cutting it like nothing. compared to like in real life where you got to saw through flesh and bone and all that, but it didn't look like it was that hard of him doing it. So it looked like it was completely fake. And just the stuff that he did, like cutting off the arms and the legs and the head, and then having sex with the body, and then using his arm to like touch himself and stuff like that. Like, it wasn't anything too like disgusting, but yes, you got to see a body dismembered. But I would have thought that there would have been more blood and all that stuff. But no one, me personally, I've never actually seen a dead body, so I don't know what it's like when someone actually like cuts pieces off you, if the blood has been drained out by then, or if it's not pumping so it's not gushing or anything. Like, I don't know the real ways of doing it. And hey, if you're someone who works at a morgue and you're watching right now, why don't you just send me a little video discussion about what happens with the body when it dies. Like, does the blood like gush and pour out when you like cut off like the limbs and stuff like that? Like, does any of that happen? But it wasn't until the end of the film where he was taking pictures of the body, when he was putting them in boxes and mailing it off to everybody, to the Prime Minister and all of his different offices across Canada. That's when you actually got to see that it was real. Because the pictures alone, just looking at them, you could definitely see the layers of muscle, and like you could definitely tell that it was real. But in the film, it looked like it was totally fake. So, so those are, and then there's this other film that you don't know what the hell is going on. You don't know if it's real. You don't know if it's fake. You don't know what the fuck is going on, because this is a film. I don't know what this dude was on, but there's two of them. And it's called August Underground. And these are probably these films that I couldn't even watch them all the way through. I had to fast forward through lots of bits, because it was a film that was just made to see what he could get away with. So there was August Underground was the first one, which is just two dudes who go out on a rampage killing people around the fucking city. And then there's the second one, which is August Underground Moratorium. And this one is about a guy and a girl who are boyfriend and girlfriend who are serial killers, and they just go around raping and beating women and having sex with them and just dismembering them and just doing all these torturous things to them. And like, there's all this screaming and yelling, and it was disgusting. Like, this is the first film that I've ever watched that I didn't want to continue watching. But I forced myself to keep going, because I thought that maybe, okay, this is just the beginning. They wanted to make this an amazing beginning that no one's ever going to forget. But then when I fast forward, like when I get in like 15 minutes, I'm like, okay, this is an ending. And then I try to fast forward, continuing on, and then it just goes from one case to another, getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until the very end. So I don't even know what the whole point of that film was. I think this was just a film to make people to see what he could get away with without even having a story. It was just basically a special effects artist who just decided to rape the television screen and throw as much blood and condoms and cum and all that shit in your face. It was fucking disgusting. So those are some of the most bar-pushing films when it comes to what you can get away with and what the public will allow you to actually get away with without being seen. Like, a lot of these films are probably banned in a lot of countries, and I completely understand, especially the real ones. But yeah, if there's any film that you have ever personally seen and you think that it's not as bad, like if you think it's worse than anything that you've ever seen, then throw it my way, because I want to see this film. And if I can actually see what I have seen, there is nothing that could ever compare to what these eyes have shown. So throw what you got in my way. Throw the comments there. Do little response videos. Remember, guys, this is Todd Smith signing off. Till next week, and have a good one. Happy horror, guys.